students are absent. Ladies and gentlemen, if I could just, we know that the number of positive cases is increasing, but it seems that some students, and I hope that we aren't in that category, but some students think it's like, oh, 5 days of vacation. You're still responsible. Now, as long as you're feeling okay, please send me an email. You guys, I'm recording our class or the 5th period class. So you have a lesson to watch in your absence, but I will keep you updated. So it's either if a student has tested positive, there's usually no kind of word from them, even though I'll send them an email, I don't get anything back, or they send an email to me saying, I'm going to be out for 5 days. What do I need to do? I communicate back, and then it's like you've dropped off the planet for those 5 days. And again, if you're really sick, that's a different situation. So we're still doing school. Yeah, we're still doing school. Okay, so during our lab work yesterday, we may have been able to get this done or get this started and then finish it for homework. What I'd like to do first is share the correct answers to these. Then we're going to practice what the quiz will be like tomorrow. I have some different versions that will give us just a good test of, okay, how would we do if we took it today? What are some weaknesses? Tomorrow, you will be given a set of formulas and names, and you just create the opposite. Your only support will be the periodic table. Yeah, so we'll practice that, and then if time permits and you guys want to, we'll practice a little more, and then I even have more practice, and if we don't, choose to do this today, I have the answers for us, so there's extra practice if you would like. All right, so lab is going to be after we work to get us ready for tomorrow's quiz. All right. Concerns before? The answers. Cobalt-2 acetate would be CO, C2H3O2, ammonium fluoride, NH4F, rubidium sulfide, Rb2S, perchloric acid, HClO4, nitrogen, N6, octochloride, Cl8, sodium thiosulfate, Na2S2O3, hydrosulfuric acid, H2S, anic acid. That was a good one. Caitlin, do you mind sharing? H2SN3. Excellent. And Tyler, do you mind sharing number 9?
Would be HGC.
So you're absolutely correct. Hg for mercury. And that Roman numeral 2 we know means it's a positive 2 charge. What is, oh, I totally get why you put.
Would be HG2.
Okay. What does the Roman numeral mean?
Positive 2.
Yeah. Okay. Bicarbonate. Now, I totally get where you're going with the 2, but can I remind you that, yeah, bi usually is 2 because like a binary acid 2, but it's the subscript if it's di, like dioxide, carbon dioxide, CO2. So we want to be careful when we're interpreting prefixes to be subscripts. Like tri, di, and it's non-metal. Oh yeah, those are my subscripts. But here, mercury, that's ionic. So I'm not gonna just use prefixes for subscripts. So I take the hint of the ending of 8 to remind me, oh, ion, polyatomic ions, a lot of them 8 or 8. Yeah. Bicarbonate, it can also be called hydrogen carbonate, is HCO3 minus 1. So Tyler, or Troy, sorry about that. All tongue-tied today. Troy, sir, I know that you know this is not an acid, even though we have hydrogen. It's part of the polyatomic ion. And because that's +2 and -1, we need 2 of those. Is that okay, Tyler? All right. Okay, I'll just go through the rest and the floor will be open to your questions. Number 10 is Si2H3. This would be WPO4, HBr, PO, GA, C2H3O2, 3. Okay, your questions. Yes, ma'am. Absolutely. All right. Stannic acid. As soon as I see acid, I know, oh, begins with a hydrogen. Begins with a hydrogen ion. Absolutely. There's no prefix of hydro, so I know the first part of this is telling me the polyatomic ion that hydrogen is bonded with. Stannic, ick was 8. Oh my gosh, I'm writing self-fight. So I want to make sure that we're, oh, wait, no. Yeah. Stannate was not a bolded one. That's what I was just checking. Remember, in class and on homework, I'll involve all the polyatomic ions. We did not have to learn stannate. So you probably had to look to the polyatomic ion sheet for this. So if it's stannic, it originally was stan8, SNO3 -2. We know the hydrogen is +1. So H2SNO3 to be a neutral compound. Is that okay? Yeah. Okay. Did that address any concern you had? Yeah, I was looking for like an element. So that, if it's an acid, would be if it had the prefix of hydro and the ending of ick on your anion, which this of course is stannic, so I totally get what you're saying. But the prefix of hydro is what we look for when it's just hydrogen with one other element. Yes, ma'am.
For 7 and 8, how did you get the 2 in front of the H's?
It is to balance, because we know that, oh, and there's another hydro, that sulfur delivers a -2 charge. Hydrogen is always +1, lowest common multiple, 2. So to deliver and make the total positive equal to the total negative, we need 2 hydrogens. And then the same for the stannate. Other concerns? Yes.
I think you already went over this, but tomorrow on the test, are we gonna be expected to memorize all the bolded polyatomic ions and their charges?
You've already memorized the bolded, right?
Yeah.
You've already memorized them.
So we're not gonna be getting a list, right? We're just not gonna have to know them off the top of our heads. Yeah. Yeah. I know.
Multiple times. And I've been saying, guys, if you need a refresher, give yourself a refresher. Remember I said, if you made flashcards, keep those flashcards, those note cards for after Christmas, because probably over Christmas we'll forget a little bit. Yeah. And I said just 15 minutes ago or so that tomorrow you'll have the quiz and a periodic table. No polyatomic ion sheet. Okay. Yes, ma'am.
It's not page 15, but on page 16. Did you need number 20?
Absolutely. Absolutely. Number 20, correct? Okay. Well, tell me, do you mind thinking out, sharing like your thoughts or what you came up with? Do you mind?
Yeah, so if it's sulfuric acid, then the egg would be 8, and then acid.
Perfect.
So, but I didn't know if you had to balance the charges.
We always need to balance the charges to create a neutral formula for ionic, if it's a main group or non-main group, and for acids. The only time we don't have to check our charges is when the name tells us the subscripts, and that's only for covalent. Okay, so dinitrogen monoxide. So then we don't have to do anything with charges, but here the name tells us the cation and the anion. Okay, so +1, -2, so we need 2 of our hydrogens. Cesium sulfide, we're just told the cation, the anion. Okay, cesium. Oh, why am I? Oh, Lord above, Mrs. Gerhardt. Cesium +1, sulfur -2, and so that's yeah. Yes, Abby.
Isn't it sulfate and not like sulfurate? Or do you just take off?
Okay. There are some, Abby, if I gave you this formula, we follow the rules. We follow the rules, and we've learned that, okay, this is an oxyacid. We take the name of the polyatomic ion, drop the ending, and 8 goes to egg. And so I would absolutely expect us to call this sulfic acid. Commonly, and I really, really think it's because somewhere along the line, someone made an improper label and they just thought, oh, that just sounds better. So commonly it's sulfuric, but they didn't drop any. How do we? So sorry. So I will triple and quadruply check, Abby, to see if there's anything on the quiz that might contradict. Yeah. So if I gave you this, I'm not expecting us to know any exceptions beyond what we've been applying. Promise. Yeah. So did that address what you need? Yeah. Sorry about that. I know that's a pain. From my teacher perspective, absolutely. So yes, ma'am.
So I just want to make sure. So when it's hydrosulfuric acid, that means that it's like sulfate, or not sulfate, sulfur, the element when there's hydro. Okay.
Perfect.
And then when there's not hydro, it's the polyatomic acid.
Absolutely perfect. Absolutely perfect. Yes. Other questions? Okay. So coming in to today, I thought that it would be good to kind of like do a practice. But I absolutely want to serve what is best for you and to let you choose what is best. So we have a couple options. Caitlin, can I get your input? And Elena, can I get your input to what I'm thinking? So welcome.
Thank you.
For me, but I'm me and I'm a different, kind of learner than some of you. I would just have my periodic table, and this is like a sample quiz. And I'd give myself 10 minutes and, okay, no, not that you'll just have 10 minutes. There are 20 tomorrow and we'll be given 20 minutes. Okay, so let's, see what we can do in 10 minutes. Check our answers. Do we want to just work individually? Do you want to work with someone else? Do you want to just, you can have the choice to go individual or with a partner? Because I want us to make a choice that will benefit us the most. Or do we just do 10 minutes individually and then another practice set with partner? Sound good?
Yeah.
Perfect. And I would encourage you to just have your periodic table and see how you do without the support of the polyatomic ion sheet. Okay? All right, so let's see where we are in 10 minutes. Go right ahead. Can you sign out and do the pass? Thank you. Right. what I'm even concerned about. But yeah, it is good if it's kind of like closer. But the way it is, we need two. Perfect.
Okay.
Perfect. Yeah. Well, that wasn't even, yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
I just,
So close.
yeah, I need to.
Oh, there's a couple more than -1. With that, but
Okay.
that one's good. Very good.
Thank you.
Good job. Good job. Okay. Are you sure which ones? Do you remember?
Yes, it's.
These charges, you're just me. So if you don't show the charge, you just jump into the thing. That is ion or negative? There's a monoatomic anion. It's a non-metal that's delivering the negative charge. On the name, drop the ending and replace it with I. Yes. Should be.
So, nitrogen. Oh,
When the second element is your negative and it's not a polyatomic ion.
so if, let's say nitrogen, it was the N2CH3.
Oh,
If nitrogen was a cation, it was he. Also, what's the element here? The next element would be C6.
okay. But the reason why I'm saying it never worked, because metals are never anions. But you were just, yeah.
I still accept glucose.
I was remember asking, but I can never remember.
I remember like,
Or
I remember the
acid.
in the,
Yeah.
oh,
It absolutely would be. So a Roman numeral is only ever used to show the charge of a cation. But it's only if that cation can form multiple charges, does calcium
Dichromate with
multiple. Five plus five.
that's why.
Correct. Yep. So like here. Okay. But brought up.
I know, like, I know what I'm doing. It's just like, it looks like this and they're really kind of. So like,
It's like, is that okay? So I'm just looking at them.
Yeah, that's fine.
Good job.
I missed half the last one.
Yeah,
So that's
oh, no,
like-
oh, right. That's it, I'm like, it affects anyone's grade. You can never know, it's like, is that an
On copper. So what does the,
Yeah,
yeah, hydroxide say?
Two problems on the review sheet.
What does the Roman numeral?
That's about it.
Transition. So all of
I
that,
kind of know it.
okay, this part of our there's two negative ones. So collectively, negative two only have one, so one was its charge. Yeah. You're welcome.
I think we do.
We do need.
Yeah, you can know just like, monomial,
How would
binomial.
you know like what to be on the end for
Oh,
that?
I
Wonderful.
If, I thought you had to do.
You are naming the and the thing that's negative, which is always gonna be the second part of the compound.
I think it's worth like.
If it just is an element from the periodic table, so it's not a polyatomic ion,
There's sometimes.
we show it's an anion. It's an anion by replacing the ending with I.
That was
I
why
got
I
it.
was like, I think I got that.
So then-
I think I missed like one, so.
Yeah.
Okay, and then if it was a polyatomic ion, you wouldn't.
Tomorrow's I think.
Easier. Absolutely perfect. Yep, you got it. Okay, can I just quickly share, and you guys know, I don't need handwriting to start with, but especially when I'm writing quickly. So please let me know if you need me to rewrite it larger, etc. Okay, so, we always want to be working on pacing ourselves. And so, good golly, but I didn't give you 20 minutes though. So in this time, if you were able to get 15 done, you are good with your pacing, really good with your pacing. So tomorrow we'll have 20 and we want to give ourselves, that kind of pacing. So I also wanted to say that for these, it's either right or it's wrong. So if you have a subscript wrong, or you don't have a Roman numeral, or you do have a Roman numeral, it's not, doesn't belong there, you have an ending wrong, it makes the whole thing incorrect. All right, I'll go through, yes, ma'am.
Basically no half points.
No, it's, yeah. And reason being, we need to be able to do this for the rest of the year. So we really need to be able to deliver correct name, correct formula, period. All right. But also, can I just say, that's why it's just 20 point to see like, okay, what are our weaknesses? Next week, we're going to have another go at this. So it's not 100. We could do 100, so it's 20. Okay, let's learn what we need to learn. But hopefully we're going to slam dunk this and then our next quiz, slam dunk again. Or if we miss a couple, we learn from our mistakes and then go for it. All right. Did I address what you need?
Yeah.
Okay. So not to make us overly stressed, but to just say like, this is this is important. All right. Number 1 is calcium nitride. Then we have H2SE, Mg in parentheses CN2, HClO3, copper 2 hydroxide, disulfur, hep oxide, tin 2 oxide, aluminum sulfide, CO2, I'm sorry, H2CO2, copper 2 nitrate. This is bromous acid, krypton tetraiodide, AgF, Mn2 S2O3 in parentheses 5, sodium bicarbonate, or hydrogen carbonate, chlorine monobromide. Then we have CrPO4, KiO3, mercury 1 sulfide, and C4H10. Okay, questions? Yes.
Number 11.
Yeah. See, I feel like, yeah, okay, very good. So we get the cue of beginning with hydrogen. We know it's an acid. And it's hydrogen, not just with one other element. So I know, okay, I need to go and remember what BrO2 minus 1 is. That is bromite. I changes to us. So bromous acid.
So I bromate. Did I just accidentally do bromate?
You did. And that would be HBrO3. Yeah. You're welcome.
Well, number one, what if we said calcium nitrogen?
Oh, that's fine. That is more than fine. So that gets to what, Abby was saying prior, as long as you are dropping some portion of the ending. And I think with nitrogen, doesn't the EN just seem like the natural, suffix to drop? So that would be absolutely fine. Yes, ma'am.
I have two questions.
Please.
First, on number 6, if we do hexoxide, will we get points taken off?
No. And that actually is the common way. Nope, you're good.
And also on number 16, what was the answer?
Chlorine monobromide.
Okay. Is chlorine more electronegative than bromine? Because the anion.
I know. No, chlorine would be. This would be a covalent bond. They're sharing electrons. The whole charge thing is a human invention. So please don't feel that I'm like saying it's all pretend. It's based on observation. So in our humanness, the way I'm writing this, okay, I'm telling us chlorine is behaving as the cation and this is behaving as the anion. So we just want to, because that's the way the formula was given. Oh my gosh, Abby, I applaud you so much for giving that thought. If I give the formula, we're going to name it trusting that the formula is correct. And we know in our kind of chemistry that the cation is first and the anion is second. Even though electronegativity wise, you're absolutely correct. It should be BrCl. But we'll name it as the formula is provided. So is that okay?
Yeah.
Okay. Yes.
So why would it be monobromide and not like monochlorine?
I know, because there is that silly little curveball that no matter the number of anion, but we'll only have from 1 up to 10. We put the prefix, mono, di, tri, tetra, etc. The cation, we use prefixes except mono. So if this were 2, 3, 4, up to 10, we would put a prefix. I do not know why we don't do that. It's just a curveball that we just have to remember. And I think, I think these are some of the most commonly, named compounds that average, humans are familiar with. Carbon dioxide, it's not monocarbon dioxide. Carbon monoxide, not monocarbon monoxide. Yeah, so yeah, curveball. If you would like, that there's more practice in your packet, but also if you want to practice a little more, the second sheet here, name, the back of that, formulas, and then I have the key here. Okay, so we know what we're tackling first, so we will definitely look at our percent composition lab work after our quiz tomorrow. Have a great rest of your day.